From the west side of Chicago, it's the Greg Struss Show 2017. I'm Scotty Joe Vegas, inviting you to stay tuned as we discuss racism from a white man's point of view and a tickle your fancy with a winner full of topics. And now here's someone who has protested a thing or two, Mr. Gregory Struss. Gregory Struss. Yay!
Yes, thank you, Scotty Joe Vegas, and welcome back to the Greg Struss Show. And I have, like Scott said in the beginning of the show, I have been known to protest a thing or two, but that's only been in my bedroom. Okay. Anyway, welcome to the show. We're always excited when we are able to, what is it? When you converge, right? When you converge in the situation, you're able to, what? Help me out here, Scotty Joe Vegas.
Come
together.
Come together. Hey, look at that suit. Hey, I need a little dye in the hair. But we're okay. I look like my mother.
You're a little
hot?
Hot, too, as they say.
How about now? Let's go back to the shot here.
Let's take a look. Is he
Let's
hot
see.
now? Yep, still hot.
Whoop.
You gotta
Come
bring
forward.
Yeah, come forward.
Well, it's too hot, too.
Too hot, too.
We're back.
All right, anyway.
Screw it.
We'll figure it out during the break.
See?
Anyway, let's see here. Manischewitz, as Grandpa Struss used to say, people are going insane. Have you noticed this?
Yes.
And we're going to talk about it in Taboo Topics tonight, how people have gone completely crazy ever since President Obama has left office, okay? I mean, that happens after 8 years. You do a gig and you leave. And the next guy comes in and does it, all right? So I like how everybody's talking about how everything is, he speaks to the base. He speaks to his base, all right? And this is no longer a presidential election. This is, the president has assumed the office, right?
We're starting to roll.
And I never even knew what POTUS stood for. POTUS stands for President of the United States. I never knew that until recently. And so I just find it interesting how the media reports that, well, I'm speaking, he's speaking to his people. Well, it's all Americans now because he's, right, officially the President of the United States.
We won't go into it in detail because I have my opinion about it, and we'll save that for Tabby Topics.
So anyway, people are protesting like never before because of their political beliefs, and I'm looking for a time when Americans come together and are able to unite and march because of the prices increasing for their cable and satellite fees. You know what I mean?
Greg, there's nothing like Americans coming together. I'll tell you that. It's great when you can come with somebody else.
Of course, and that's a whole different story. Things are so bad.
How bad are they?
That the pandas at Brookfield Zoo are upset because China's using their, Panda. What is that story? Panda Express? So now they're even getting in on it.
Yes. I was far stretched there. I never eaten there at Panda Express yet.
So things are so bad in Cicero.
How bad are they in Cicero?
That Mayor Dominic has actually been doing work. So I want to thank you. I don't even know him.
When the flashlight's on, you gotta work.
If I don't show up next time, it's probably because I took a flashlight in the head and now swimming in the Calumet River. CalSag, as they say. Anyway, it is a new year, new attitude, and I had a little bit of an accident today trimming the beard. I went out, I bought clippers, okay?
Were you talking about the upstairs beard or the downstairs beard?
I'm talking about the upstairs beard. I'm talking about this beard, okay? So not George Clooney's beard at the award show. I can't even watch these award shows in peace anymore. There's always got to be a demonstration there as well.
Alrighty.
What was her name?
Helen Keller.
No, who was the actress at the Golden Globes? We were talking about it.
I missed it all. I'm sorry. I can't help you.
Who is it? So Susan Sarandon. Everybody's talking, she's so upset, but they didn't bother to change her diaper before she went on. I was a little offended by this.
Susan Sarandon was kind of...
out there?
You know what? They had their run. That's it.
Yeah. So anyway, so much for all of this because it's really changing me, and I feel like I got to turn off the internet and I got to stop reading this stuff because it just infuriates me, and we're going to talk a little bit about it.
We're going to talk about that in detail.
Okay. So here's the deal: when baby gets upset, baby gets upset. Okay, and nobody's there.
Is that your street name, Baby? Do you go from one baby's house to the next baby's house, or
when baby gets upset? Okay, who's talking to baby?
Who's feeding the baby?
Who's there for baby? Okay.
Who's burping the baby?
Anyway,
Who's changing the baby?
Quick story. I love it. Right before the show, the cleaning woman, I don't even know what her name is. So I told her as I walked down the hall, I said, you do a nice job.
Wonderful
And she
Polish
went,
woman.
Yes, she's, I don't know if her, we'll just refer to her as Olga, the cleaning woman here at the studio, okay? So I go in after she cleans. I said, I'll hurry up because, I'm a people pleaser. If I was rude like most people, I'd say, okay, I'm going to
So what you're saying is she
occupy.
tasted it with her tongue, or
No,
what?
no. So she cleans the bathroom's clean, and all of a sudden, overshot a little bit. and
Hey,
had to
you're in the
re-clean it.
40s. It happens.
Anyway, I'm Greg. We're glad that you're with us all the way here from the west side of Chicago. I'm Greg. This is the Greg Show, and we are reinventing community television here in the west side of Chicago. Always keeping it sane, always keeping it real. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back in just a moment.
But I can't see why anyone would want to join a gang or organization that promotes violence. It's so much easier to love one another, isn't it, Scott?
You know, baby, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I couldn't think of anything in this world to get excited about. Of course, if I got liquored up and someone tried to touch my gun.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, we're...
And welcome back to the Greg Struss Show. I'm Greg Struss along with Scotty Joe Vegas. Coming to you here from Studio 688 in beautiful Elmhurst, Illinois. Or as we like to call it, the far west side of Chicago. How you doing there?
Hello, my
I
friend.
haven't shaken your hand on camera in a long time. We shook some other things, but I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Good to see you.
You too. You as well. Anyway, you can watch the Greg Struss Show on YouTube.com, but really the best way, as Scott said, is to Google us, because you get a whole cadre of shows.
Cabinet, I think you said, or something, or a mignette.
A mignette? No.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I said, now I can't think because you're putting it on me, and even though I'm a fast thinker on my feet, I can't think of the word. Plethora.
Catalog.
A catalog of shows.
A caveat.
And yeah, we still consider this a show, even though we don't have guests, we don't have music, nor do we have much of a big crew. But nonetheless, it is a show because we have video, we have audio, we have color, we have all kinds of
Lights,
stuff.
camera, action.
Yeah.
And a hot head.
Yeah. So, and I think at this time, in this day and age, it's important to have other voices out there.
Correct.
So just ask me a little later when the cough syrup kicks in. I hear a lot of voices. So anyway. So I was really thinking that this week you were going to surprise me with a visit from Aunt Jaja.
Thank you.
How is she doing?
Secluded in her apartment with getting a little pissed off the neighbors because they're making noise, and heaven forbid those kids make noise, and she'll be moving soon. She'll burn through a housekeeper, and she'll be moving soon.
Isn't it strange? I don't even want to say strange. Isn't it funny that once you understand people's patterns of behavior
And quirks. Yep.
that you can call it out, and it's so personal and feels so offensive.
She gets so mad at
you.
but it's true. It's
And you call her at it, too?
I call her. It says, you burn through a housekeeper 8 months. About every 8 months. So it's all right. She just wants to pay people. She's lonely. She just needs some good old-fashioned loving, and that'll get her over the hump.
I think we all do.
We all do.
I don't think that that's a young thing or an old thing. I think it's important that love is a love thing. And I'm not feeling a lot of love lately, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not feeling a lot of love. Okay, I've had a lot of love lately on a personal level, if you know what I mean. But I'm talking about love in the sense of the love for people that are different than you and I, okay? People that have different religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, things
Humps
like
on their
that.
back.
humps on their back,
Boils, moles,
moles,
a lost eye.
bad hair, bad toupees.
Their crotch stinks from across the room.
Okay,
I got beat his crotch lately. I don't like it.
all right. So that aside, I think it's really important what's really been bothering me lately is all of this negativity since President Obama has left office, okay? And I'm starting to really feel as though this is either a war on, and I want to watch myself, but you know what? I'm just going to speak it.
You got to let it go.
I got to let it go, but I'm going to share it,
Yep.
okay? This is what I'm kind of feeling. What I'm feeling uncomfortable about is that it seems that people can have an opinion, but I can't. The smart person doesn't really have to share an opinion, I think, on a certain level. Because, and I'm not saying I'm smart, because these opinions are things that people are never going to agree upon. All right? I have a dear friend, been a friend of mine, worked on several shows, and I really haven't talked to him since the election, when he called me an effing a-hole because we discussed who we voted for. And then said, oh, well, I was in character. Well, we kind of kid, but I felt that it was quite personal and that this election was personal on a number of levels. So at the beginning of the show, we talked about, I asked Scott before the show, I said, do you think this is too racy, so to speak? Racism from a white man's point of view. But I really am feeling that we are, is this a war on working class or is this a war on white people?
What you have is the state.
And hold on a sec, because this is what I want.
I'm in the stable. I'm chomping.
I want to clarify this because as people, are probably tuning out like, oh my gosh, what is he talking about? It's like I can't share. I don't have a point of view because I've been privileged my whole life. I haven't.
But your opinion has not been covered by the media.
Right. Okay.
So the majority of this country who voted for the man, and he got what he had to do to get elected.
62 million people.
Yes.
Okay.
Agree with him. Well, let's say.
Do they? But here's the deal. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So the media that is covering the protesters are in the cities where he lost. So they're going to cover it. They're not going to cover the people in Nebraska that's sitting there at the Polka House going, yep, that Trump's going to change the country. Yeah, he's going to bring back jobs. You bet your ass.
A lot of those country club people are not.
I didn't say country club. I said polka people.
Oh, polka people.
Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
All right.
Country club people, they're sitting there with Susan Sarandon going, oh, God, we're going to die. But, hey, that's a whole different thing. I just want to say, give the guy a chance. And if not, I understand. That's why I respect your opinion. But you can't respect mine because as soon as I say it, I'm a racist.
Right.
And I don't want to be a racist. I love everybody. I take everybody's money. I'll take a black man's money. I'll take a white man's money.
And look, I'll be honest with you.
I'll take a Mexican's money.
Right. I feel very fortunate that I went to a school like Thornton Township High School. I learned a lot about Dr. Martin Luther King every year.
Diversity.
Okay? Diversity.
Be a minority.
But here's the deal. There's more to diversity than just race. It also deals with sexuality. It also deals with culture. It deals with religion. All right? These are cultural beliefs. All right? And there's just certain things I think that if we want to get along with people, doesn't mean we have to like people. If we want to get along with people, that we just don't comment on certain issues.
But that's the majority of the country, because the country's like, hey, he's our guy. You live in an area here that he lost. And there you
Illinois
go.
definitely
So
not.
it's all the media, which they said is controlled by the Democratic Party. Your CBS, you see the little redhead girl there in the morning saying, that damn Trump. And you see it in her face. You see the African lady with the glasses on. You see Charlie Rose. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, I said African.
Oh, no, you're talking about Gail.
CBS, Gail King. Great lady.
Oprah's best friend forever.
Okay. And then the other half a hand job family over there on Good Morning America, where it's like you can see Robin Quivers just like, you can just see it in their faces.
Robin Roberts.
And then old the George, he's like, I got Clinton elected, but I couldn't get his wife elected. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There you go. See? You can start putting it together. And then you flip over to NBC, and then you're like, hey, Al, I don't give a shit what neck of the woods you come from. I love Al, but
Al's cool.
Al's
I
better.
love Al.
Al's like a cold cabbage fart. He just never goes away.
And you bring up another thing as we're talking about race. Megyn Kelly is a female that was over on Fox News Network.
See.
Right? She was the #1 journalist on television, all right, in broadcast journalism, #1. So she decided to leave Fox News, and NBC hired her, okay, and she'll be starting in May. Well, when someone else gets hired, usually someone is leaving, all right? And in any job, there are production standards, like production standards as to what you produce, all right? And if you're not producing a certain number, you're going to get replaced.
Amen. Like us.
Yeah, so I've been replaced a lot in other people's lives. Not on this show just yet, all right? So I don't know what that meant, but it just was a little diatribe, and I digress, as they say.
Is this about white racism? Are you getting around to it
Here's where
about?
I'm going to go with the racist
Okay.
card, all right? So Megyn Kelly is a white girl.
A European?
Okay? She's a European. I don't
Okay.
know, but she wasn't peeing like I was when I missed the toilet after that clean.
I don't mean no disrespect about those people on Great America or
No.
Good Morning America. I got to finish mine
Okay.
because I spoke out. Now I'm a bad guy. I wish they could just hide it a little better. And the most fairest news across the board is that Robin in the Morning on headline
okay.
news.
Robin Meade.
I have never seen it drop off Democratic or Republican. It's straight. So hide your anger a little bit about the election a little bit, just for us people. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? Okay. And I mean, who am I? I mean, I gave Obama a shake. I never badmouthed him because he was our president.
No.
Because that's the way I was raised. You weren't supposed to badmouth the president.
And let's be honest, he served 8 years and had a massive agenda and did it, I can't see how someone can criticize, oh, he didn't do anything for the economy. Didn't do anything. I mean, I personally don't feel he did anything to contribute to bettering race relations, because when the things started up with the law enforcement in Ferguson County and all these other places, the president could have said, you know what, guys, knock it off. Let's go through the judicial process and see what happens. Now, I understand.
He held his tongue.
Right, and I understand the other side of that. Well, we've never been treated fairly, da-da-da-da. Let's get the facts. Let's go back to basic journalism and basic 911 dispatcher etiquette. Who, what, where, why. They say how.
How?
And then in 911 dispatching, are there any weapons? But if we go back and ask those basic questions, that's where objectivity comes in. Because we can say, who are you? What happened? How did it happen? Where did it happen? And then we can find out why it happened. All right? And then we go and interview the next guy.
Correct.
And ask those same questions. Then come up with our report, which is objective, centrist, in the middle, presenting both sides. Okay? Getting back to Megyn Kelly now.
Thank you.
She's been hired to take over the third hour of Today's Show, so they're saying. All right? So what happens with this? Who's hosting the third hour of Today right now?
Is it Kathy Lee?
Nope. Cameron Hall, lovely lady from...
Iran?
No, she was originally at Channel 32 in Chicago, and then went over to NBC several years ago. Okay, Cameron Hall.
Wasn't she on WGN?
Cameron Hall may have been on WGN.
Yeah, she was, because when I saw her on WGN the first time, I said, that's a newscaster right there.
She's a lovely lady, okay? She's had some things in her life, and she has excelled, and I think the world of her.
Are we
I was
recording?
real happy when she was, when she moved out of Chicago and went to the national network, all right? So Cameron Hall and good old Al Roker are what? They are African Americans hosting a show that now a white lady's going to be replacing. Now, guess who's into this little argument now? Now, this may be Cameron Hall's people kind of negotiating in the press and the media, to get some noise started to get her re-signed or find other offers because she's getting the boot out of that
It
time
happens.
slot.
It happens.
They're not getting fired. Their time slot is being replaced by somebody who was #1 in the cable media. All right, cable news media.
Okay.
Now, Al Sharpton wants to say that this is racism. Now, let me get something straight here. If I don't perform in my job, all right, in television we have ratings, not on our.
Thank God we don't.
Here, okay, But television's a business, media's a business.
Big business.
And if you're not bringing in enough eyeballs, you're not going to get the top advertising dollar. So what networks do is they start poaching from other networks. And then because it's going to bring that audience to them.
Correct.
And whatever.
It's just that it's one of the old grandfather stations, and now she'll be on some other channel.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think
So how does this make you a racist? Or, I mean, we will always be picked on because of our forefathers, what happened in the country.
Did what I say, and I'm asking another person who's Caucasian.
I'm
did
Caucasian.
Anything that I said, was it offensive to you?
I could see where a person other than my color could find it offensive.
okay, so
just because you're a whitey. You're whitey and you're talking, and it's like, hey, man, I'm just Greg Struss. I'm just Scott DeYoung. And I'm telling you, it's just the media. The media is just firing everybody up, and they want Trump dead.
So I went out.
I hope the Lord helps him.
I went out and
This is the first president I've ever prayed for.
I pray for him every night.
I can't.
I prayed for President Obama every night.
I can't say that was there
You know?
like spiritually at that time, but like now it's like, God, we need his help. We need his help.
And you know what? I'm not ashamed to say that I pray. And I'm not ashamed to say that I have a belief in a power that's greater than myself.
And I have no other objection about somebody praying to their own God. I have no, the freedom of religion is what this country was based on.
Now, as we get ready, I'm not sure where we are in our segment here. Are we wrapping or? Okay, we're going to wrap, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Hillary Clinton and how she said that she was, that she embraced the marches and things. Okay,
That's what, she didn't have another line to say. She can't say she won.
but she wasn't out there doing it.
Correct.
Okay, we're going to continue the talk on racism from a.
And are we going to talk about my dad's?
Oh, we're going to talk about Scott's dad. Okay.
All right.
Let's just, you know what? I've had it with the racism. I've had it with all of it. We want to entertain. We want to inform. We want to,
Come together.
come together. And I don't know. That what I'm trying to say here is let's just get over ourselves, get over our
Get over it and get on with it.
and get on with it and make America great again.
The show will be canceled. It was our last show. Thank you.
Show's canceled. I just made a political statement. Let's come together and make America great again, okay? Anyway, we'll be back in a moment. Scott's got a really good story about when he went to see his dad today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll rejoin you. All right, welcome back. We're here, almost live, as they say. And I asked Scott before the show to help me straighten out my collar. What'd you do?
I angrily got on it.
Gotta do it with anger.
So look at there. It's $1 million.
Gotta do it with anger. Okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, I wish Tamron Hall the best. I hope that I think she's got a good gig on MSNBC in the afternoon. She's on the Today Show, and
She would never be a star on that format.
she also was on.
She's up
also
against
on
icons.
but she's also on Investigative Discovery. So the girl's got,
She got game.
She got
game.
She's working.
She got game. She got good looks. She got the whole package.
And Al Roker, what an amazing man.
Abuses her.
But he has had an amazing career.
Yep.
All right?
I'm sorry.
So anyway, Tom Brokaw recently celebrated his 50 years and 5,000 martinis at ABC News. And that was a great show. I loved it. It had a little piece of the past, he's like one of the last of the great anchor. Now I'm going to say anchor men, all right?
Living.
Anchor people. He's one of the last living. You think about like Jennings, Rather, and Brokaw. You never, like Dan Rather, they always knew what his politics were. And there was this horrible Dan Rather leans left, or was like Dan.
He did, because when he found out Bush won, he was in shock on
Well, it was
camera.
because of the whole, it was the investigation and what he
Yep.
was trying to prove something with the National Guard that Bush didn't serve, and just, That was political capital. But anyway, enough about that stuff.
Yeah, enough of it.
So new rules. Do you ever watch Bill Maher's show on HBO?
Every once in a while.
I used to love Bill Maher's show, but lately he's gone nuts. So that's a new rule. Bill Maher has completely lost his mind.
In what way?
Just like his hate.
Oh, but he's entitled.
He's entitled.
And people are entitled to their
But I
opinion.
wonder how many people are starting to get turned off by it.
It'll get old after a while.
Yeah.
Because it's, the guy does the job, hey.
Okay, so we talk about that.
He's a very good at what he does. And I believe he's a pot smoker.
Oh, yes.
And
It changes you.
yeah, it changes you. You're like, hey, I'm free, you know.
I think you get kind of angry. You get kind of, your mind's not clear. Not
See.
that I can speak from experience.
See.
But here's the thing. What the point is in the racism thing. Let's make our point. The point is that we are all, in the end, Americans. If we are not Americans and we're here illegally, we're still part of the American dream, right? There's a reason why people came here. There's a reason why our country was founded, okay? We're all Americans. And if we can stop this tribal BS of
And if you're illegal, don't get caught.
people, Mexican people, Polish people,
Don't
and
get
all
caught.
be American people.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
Even though someone comes from another country, I believe if they're here, they're still American.
But that's not taught in schools because we don't do a Pledge of Allegiance and there's no patriotism and there's a division of school and
Because it's
state.
wrong and it
Because it's wrong.
leads to
and
war and
that's
everything
right.
else. But anyway,
It's the media.
That's my point. I hope that we all can get along this year.
We got to snip it. Got it.
Snip it
Move
out.
on to the next conversation.
Next conversation.
If we offended anybody, I'm very sorry.
Okay. So you went to see Papa Joe Vegas for the first time in a while, and I wouldn't say first time in a while. You visit with him regularly at the nursing home. And
Or whatever, if he's in a hospital or a nursing home, he's like at his own gig. He's like, this weekend he'll be at Ingalls, and next weekend he'll be in Lake Tahoe. So I go and see my dad down
making
in.
his first appearance through the emergency room door in a stretcher. Let's welcome him. Okay.
He was in Glenwood, down the street from my sister's house off of Cottage Grove. And I walk into this nursing home, and of course, you know, they're doing it looked clean. Everything looked clean, but, you know, a nursing home, you know, has its smells. And of course, the staff was really nice. And this one lady says, can I help you with anything? And I wanted to say, what, you want to get it on or something? But okay, moving on. So I go in my dad's room, and he's sitting there, and he thought I was his brother. And I had to tell him, no, I'm your youngest boy. And he's like, he told me I was his
Did
brother.
he say, who dat?
He was like, Struss. What? I swear to God, he did that. He's like, you get paid for that gig?
Now Scott's negotiating in the media.
No, I mean,
Go ahead.
that's what, you know.
He's making his negotiation.
Like, he knew who you were, but he didn't know who I was, but he thought I was his brother. So I'm looking at my dad, a man who's about a pimple on his behind. And I wish I could love him to death and turn him inside out and make all of his hurts go away and make all the abuse that he had as a child that he gave to me. And his father was abused too. How many times did I not go?
Okay, but you're doing it.
Oh, I'm with you.
What's right for, because here's the thing that's lost in all of this. And again, I think it comes back to certain values that we have to do our own self-protection. This isn't about other people. This is also about me. This is about you. And
You notice how you didn't speak about color and that all those things that you just talked about? That's the way it should be every day.
you know what? We can learn a lot from other races and other ethnicities.
No. We can learn from people.
Well, from people, all right?
Deliverance.
So give yourself
Deliverance.
credit for that.
Deliverance.
Want to thank Bobby Mudra.
Deliverance.
Bobby's always with us.
They got a typetus.
Also want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight.
Thanks,
I
Bob.
hope you enjoyed what we talked about. You know, these are just opinions, and opinions are like you know what, because everybody has one. Doesn't mean that I'm speaking that this is the way it is. I'm just kind of speaking my frustration and trying to make some sense of it, and I hope you understand that, and we really appreciate you tuning in. Anyway, Greg Struss, thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.
A blank.
Bye, everybody.
A blank.